A Bell by Clinton Scollard. Wilson. Had I the power To cast a bell that should from some grand tower At the first Christmas hour outring and fling A jubilant message wide, The forged metals should be thus allied, No iron pride, but soft humility And rich veined hope, cleft from a sunny slope; And there should be white charity And silvery love, that knows nor doubt nor fear, To make the peal more clear; And then, to firmly fix the fine alloy, There should be joy. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Christmas Elves by Clinton Scollard. Nancy Beard. If you walk on Christmas Eve, and the moon doth shine aright, you will see them weave, nimble gnome and fay and sprite, devious dances in the lustrous lunar light. Round and round the holly bowl will they dart and glide and spring, and a tripping troll will they in a chorus sing, threading now in broken, now in linked ring. Berry bright, be the love about your hearth, leafy green, be perennial your mirth, sturdy as a holly bowl be your footing of the earth. These white spirits of old Yule, happy you who hear their tune, joy with you shall rule, life for you shall be a boon, round the year through all the watches of the moon. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Christmas Angel by Clinton Scollard. LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. In middle heaven a form behold, fair aureoled, her shapely brow with noon bright gold. Soli Deo Gloria. Upon a little cloud she stands, within her hands it's a pennon with scarlet bands. Soli Deo Gloria. Thereon she playeth without fault, while up the vault her voice makes silvery assault. Soli Deo Gloria. Till, blended with her soaring notes, adown there floats an echo from a myriad throats. Soli Deo Gloria. An angel she of God's own choir, whose one desire is higher yet to chant and higher. Soli Deo Gloria. And every year upon the morn when Christ was born, within the manger bed forlorn, Soli Deo Gloria. 'Tis hers to bid song's raptures run from sun to sun, and list to earth's low antiphon. Soli Deo Gloria. Would that our praise might swell and rise along the skies, and scale the gates of paradise. Soli Deo Gloria. Bearing with more complete accord unto the Lord forevermore our watch and ward. Soli Deo Gloria. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Nazareth Town by Clinton Scollard. LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Nazareth Town in Galilee, set where the paths lead up from the sea, that like the chords of a mighty lyre dirges over the rocks of Tyre, mourns where the piers of Sidon shone, and the battlements cinctured Ascalon. They have waned as the sunset wanes, little more than a name remains. But more than a name we hold it, we, Nazareth Town in Galilee. Nazareth Town in Galilee. Ah, what a golden harmony! The dawn seems flooding its bright white walls, and, when the violet twilight falls, what a vast processional of stars pageants over its stilled bazaars! And when the full moon touches the height of Tabor, a torch of brilliant light, never was sight more fair to see, Nazareth town in Galilee. Nazareth town in Galilee, strumming a desert melody. The Bedouin minstrel trolls in the street. At the well of the Virgin the maidens meet. The cactus hedges crimson to flower, and the olives silver hour by hour. As through their branches the south wind steals, a clear bell peals, and a vulture wheels over the crest where the wild crags be, Nazareth town in Galilee. Nazareth town in Galilee! At the sound of the words how memory kindles as earth does under the spring, till the dead days rise for our visioning, and out of them one compassionate face beams with a more than mortal grace. Out of them one inspiring voice cries in the ears of the world, Rejoice! And ever a beacon of hope shall be, Nazareth town in Galilee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Christmas Masque by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org. By Christine Bowden. First King, I am the monarch Melchior, mighty alike in peace and war. Second King, I am the sovereign Balthazar, a myriad fold my liegemen are. Third King, the royal ruler Jasper I, lord of a spacious emperor I. First King, yet do I seek a little child. Second King, a tiny nursling undefiled. Third King, and I am one likewise beguiled. First King, to him whose coming stars foretold a babe divine in mortal mold, I bear this goodly gift of gold. Second King, to him whose life shall ease the sting of mankind's weary travailing, this fragrant frankincense I bring. Third King, to him whose loving word shall stir to aspirations holier, my offering is this precious myrrh. All, piercing the mists of time, we see the cruel cross, the agony, and whelmed with pity bend the knee. Piercing the mists of time, we gaze adown the future's opening ways, and hear the swelling prayer and praise. Piercing the mists of time, we hail the day when woe and sin shall fail, and over all his love prevail. End of A Christmas Masque. This recording is in the public domain.
A Song for Christmas Morning by Clinton Scollard, read for LibriVox.org by Bryce Christ. O wear for garment mirth upon the soul, as all the fields of earth wear one white stole. A dream of things long gone let sorrow be, turn thou thine eyes on dawn, thy heart on glee. What wonder everywhere, above abroad, the amplitudes of air abrim with God, his presence shining through the risen sun, and in the bending blue his benison. Into the gulfs of gloom go death and night, behold around thee bloom glad life and light. The veil of darkness drawn, thy vision free, turn thou thy soul on dawn exultingly. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Christmas Minstrels by Clinton Scollard. LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Now that the joy day of the year is nearing, in that fair sunland set twixt sea and sea, from hill and mountain dale behold appearing, with jocund strains a minstrel company. The reeds that shepherds played in eras olden, these are the tuneful pipes whereon they blow. The sky that overarches is the golden, the bright Calabrian sky of long ago. And since the decades of the saints and sages, when here to Christ was first raised prayerful praise, these minstrel men through all the echoing ages have heralded the hallowed Christmas days. From lonely shrines on steep and stony byways, their clear, wild music up the pathway soars. It gushes like a fount on traveled highways, and through the populous piazza pours. They cling to their old ways, these simple-hearted and humble dwellers on the uplands high. Their notes an echo of the days departed, span gulfs of time, and bring the dead years nigh. Long may the cool Calabrian laurel alleys hearken the strains in rarer ether borne, of minstrels wending down the mountain valleys, to greet the coming of the Christmas morn. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Twelfth Night Song by Clinton Scollard. LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Heaped be the faggots high, and the half-burned bough from last year's revelry be litten now. Brimmed be the posset bowl for every lusty soul, and while the maskers rule, cry Noel, cry Noel, down all the halls of Yule. O eager viols thrill, pipe, hautboys clear and sweet, work your impetuous will, ye restless feet. For every lip a glass, for every lad, alas, and ere the ardours cool, cry Noel, down all the halls of Yule. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Yule at Thinglefort by Clinton Scollard, read for LibriVox.org by Bryce Christ. It was Yule at Thinglefort, the sharp white tide of Yule, and the mailed thanes of war, bred in the fiery school of the devotees of Thor, flung into the council hall with sneer and clamorous call at the calm-browed thanes of peace, who worship without cease, bending in prayer the knee to the one of Galilee, who died, as they said, for all. Each man stood in his place that sharp white noon of Yule, and the war thanes hooted fool and coward and craven knave, and they flashed each one a glaive in every peace thane's face. But the peace thanes were not cowed, smiling their quiet smile at the flaunts and threats and jeers roaring about their ears, and they held them poised and proud, till after a breathing while the tumult died like the sea, subsiding sullenly around their breast of an isle, set at the last fjord's verge, fronting the western surge. Then into the council hall, where peace confronted war, where Christ confronted Thor, dauntless, willowy, tall, came a maid of Thinglefort, the princess. Ah, how fair was the sunrise sheen of her hair, more wondrous to behold than her coronet of gold. And she paused between them there, as white as the Yule was white, till a hush fell on the air, like the hush of the middle night. And she said, "What stand ye for? to the mailed thanes of war, and they shouted shrill, for Thor and the kingdom's olden might. Then she turned her, level-eyed, to the peace thanes. Ye, she cried, as in one voice they replied, for Christ and the rule of right. Thor and the war and might, thus she mused for a space, Christ and peace and the right, and a glory mantled her face. Better the right than might, ye valiant thanes of war. Blood now the Yule is white? Nay, 'twere a grievous sight. Better the Christ than Thor. And evermore, by the Baltic's rugged shore, in the halls of Thengilfor, right not might is the rule, the Christ and not sanguine Thor, at the sharp white tide of Yule. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Yuletide Carol by Clinton Scollard. LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. O lightly lift thy finger, thou loving lutenist, and let around us linger thy music's mellow mist. Aye, let the strain beat faster in captivating time, and mirth shall be our master until the midnight chime. Noel, hang high the holly, while leaps the Yule log's light. We'll drive gray melancholy abroad into the night. With silvery touch and tingle, like brooks 'twixt sunny swards, each soaring voice shall mingle and marry with the chords. So shall the liquid laughter of mirth and music rule, till rings the roof tree's rafter with revelries of Yule. Noel, hang high the holly, and twine the ivy tod. My Marys will be jolly, and spurn care like a clod. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ballad of the Eve of Yule by Clinton Scollard, read for LibriVox.org by Bryce Christ. It was hard on the tide of Yule, and the wind bit shrewd and sharp, churning the river pool, and turning the deep wood boughs that were wont to droop and drowse to the moaning strings of a harp. A snow threat gloomed the sky, and with inerrant raucous caw, a bevy of rooks went by, each a seeming thing of evil, ominous wing flapping adown the flaw. Then night fell over the fen, and he mused, still stumbling on, out of the world of men into the shades I go. And he grimly laughed, when lo, a light on his pathway shone. Mine enemy's tower, he said, as the beacon beckoned him. Well, succor were likely as bread to be had from a shard or stone, or meat from a wolf-gnawed bone, or hope in the heart of hell. Yet he steered him sheer on the flare, with a here or there 'tis one, a corpse in the morning air, frozen as rigid as steel, or a form on a gibbet or wheel, what matters it how 'tis done? He clanged a summons clear, keeping his grip on hate, and he wavered not to hear a word from a tongue abhorred. Then back swung the outer ward, and his enemy stood in the gate. Eyes upon burning eyes, hung as when war fires rule under the angry skies. Then ere the wrath flame died, "Welcome," his enemy cried, "for this is the eve of Yule." Into the banquet hall he was bid as a chosen guest, and there before them all did his enemy give him meat, and bread of the finest wheat, and golden wine of the best. Then he was brought to a room where rugs were soft on the floor, and a fire made fair the gloom, and warned with a stern behest of the sacred rights of a guest, a guard was set at the door. Through the black night watches long did he wait on sleep, but when came the peal of the matin song, no slumber had kissed his brow. So he girded himself, for now the sunlight lay on the fen. Then once more did his foe proffer him drink and food. Forth to the court below did his enemy lead the way, where, as one for a fray, chafing, a charger stood. Hate, it is burned into shame. Scorn of myself is the scorn. Blame, I confess to the blame. Vengeance is thine, he said, and with averted head he rode out into the morn. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Hanging of Holly by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Sagrika. The holly is for happiness. Hang it high. When the holly morn we bless, show its rose along the sky. The holly is for heartsome cheer. Hang it high. While the glory of the year lights the heights of all the sky. The holly is for homeside mirth. Hang it high. Till the dearest day of earth fades in shades along the sky. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Maid of Bethlehem by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. It was a maid of Bethlehem, as fair as spring was she, when first lifts up its fragile cup the wrath anemone. It was a man of Bethlehem, as dark of heart was he, as is night's Stygian shadow cast upon the lone Dead Sea. He fawned where'er she set her foot, he followed her like fate, and when she sealed his lips with scorn, he held a tryst with hate. And then, as venom through the veins through Bethlehem, there ran a whispered malice in the air, that spread from man to man. And shall this living lie endure? In rising rage they said, the purging fire shall work a cure upon her sinful head. It was the Maid of Bethlehem in all her stainless grace, they seized before the house of God within the marketplace. It was the Man of Bethlehem who led the throng elate, that bore her out with mocking shout beyond the city gate. Around her heaped they faggots high, and touched the pile with flame. Behold, they cried, the wanton witch, she expiates her shame. O sinless one of Calvary, then did they hear her say, prove thou my blameless innocence on this thy natal day. Lo, as she spake, each fiery tongue leaped on her foe of foes, and while from charred and smoking boughs burst rose on crimson rose. It was the Man of Bethlehem who died in agony. It was the Maid of Bethlehem who went unharmed and free. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Christmas Almsman by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Tricia Wheeler. The Christmas Almsman. It was a Christmas almsman came to a palace door. The flambeau flared, the music blared, and gleamed the waxen floor. Out on thee for a vagrant, a pompous porter cried. Quick, get thee gone, ere goads be drawn to scourge thy tattered hide. The mirth roared to the rafter, with plenty groaned the board. Yet naught they gave that almsman gaunt, save flaunting fleer and ribald taunt, despite his bare and bitter want from all their Yuletide hoard. It was a Christmas almsman unto a hovel came. The walls so grim were drear and dim, with one pale candle flame. Yet spake the kindly hoveler, who saw the beggar's face, you're welcome here, though lean our cheer, enter and bide a space. He shambled in, he crouched him down, he ate their meagre fare. And lo, they found, when he had sped, a script of gold and jewels red. The hoveler had housed and fed an angel unaware. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Bells of Christmas by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Carrie Adams, your book voice. Pilgrim, you of the loosened latchet, what do you hear as you roam and roam? Master, I list to the bells of Christmas, the bells of Christmas, calling me home. They call, and I fain would hasten back to the warmth of the old roof tree, to the plentiful board and the merry faces, and the twilight prayer at the mother's knee. Pilgrim, you of the loosened latchet, why then still do you roam and roam? Master, 'twas but a dream they conjured, the bells of Christmas, calling me home. 'Twas but a vision out of the distance, happy and holy and sweet, forsooth. 'Twas but a vision out of the distance, out of the long-lost vale of youth. Pilgrim, you of the loosened latchet, all of us have our dreams like thee, and back are borne by the bells of Christmas to the twilight prayer at the mother's knee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Christmas Inglesong by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Trisha Wheeler. Christmas Inglesong. Now once more the year has run, sun succeeding sceptred sun, to the time of hallowed birth, to the holiest tide of earth. Out with sadness, out with sin, let us hail the Christ-child in. While we lift our thanks for thrift, praise the giver and the gift. With the holly buried bright, druid ivy sprays unite. Long they both have sacred been, let us hail the Christ-child in. And the backlog, let it be from some ancient forest tree, great of girth, that flames may roar up the chimney high and hoar. Thus to swell our merry din, let us hail the Christ-child in. Far into the night with song, let us the old rites prolong, cry Noel, 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 until peals the midnight bell. If we peace and love would win, let us hail the Christ-child in. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Neil MacDonald by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Whither away, O Neil MacDonald? Whither away so fleet hie ye? I have a tryst to keep my mother under the boughs of the holly tree. Go ye not, O Neil MacDonald, go ye not, prithee, prithee. I must keep the tryst, my mother, under the boughs of the holly tree. Into the night leaps Neil MacDonald, every man has a weird to dree. He will dree his weird this Yuletide under the boughs of the holly tree. In the north the pale auroras flash and waver spectrally, but the purple shadows slumber under the boughs of the holly tree. Over the burn bounds Neil MacDonald, through the bracken plunges he. He has won to the purple shadows under the boughs of the holly tree. "Oh, my love," cries Neil MacDonald, "oh, my love," cries she, and their lips are met together under the boughs of the holly tree. Bitter the frost upon the moorside, bitter the frost, but what recks he, with his arms about Fiona, under the boughs of the holly tree? What is that I hear, beloved? What is that dark shape I see? You but dream, my Neil MacDonald, under the boughs of the holly tree. He dreams not, your Neil MacDonald, sister false as falsest be. Hark the clang call of MacGregor under the boughs of the holly tree. Hark the clang call of MacGregor, every man has a weird to dree. He has dreed his, Neil MacDonald, under the boughs of the holly tree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Star of Bethlehem by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Carrie Adams. Your book voice. Out of the past's black night there shines one star whose light is more than countless constellations are. High in the east it gleams, this radiant star whose beams are more to man than all the planets are. Still be thy light displayed, O Bethlehem star, nor fade until the circling systems no more are. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Pierrot's Christmas by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Into the hall on the night of Yule capered the jester blithe Pierrot, crying merrily gifts for a fool. Sooth, right well did he play the role, though the wolf of bitterness gnawed his soul. Proud his birth as the proudest there, count or baron or haughty knight, but poverty was his sorry share, a lonely tower on a barren height, and a wit as bright as his purse was light. So under the motley he hid his name, under the motley he hid his heart. But he could not hide, nor he could not tame his leaping spirit that would outstart, nor his face, Endymion's counterpart. Gifts for a fool, troth they loved him well, loved his beauty and blithesomeness, loved his quips and lyric spell, of the songs he sang with so gay a stress, and his head thrown back like a hawk in jest. So they tossed him, this one a golden chain, that one a bracelet, another a ring, till out of all that feasting train there was only a maid who had failed to fling some bauble to him, some costly thing. And she, how fair like the thorn in May she seemed as she sat in her stainless guise, as he paused in his pirouetting gay, caught to heart the look in his fearless eyes that were fixed upon her in yearning wise. And raising a hand, ne'er was shapelier by prince or paladin won, I wis, in the shock of the lists or the silken stir of the court of love, who is queen of bliss, she cast him the honeyed boon of a kiss. Gifts for a fool, far fainter the cry, drooped in the distance to quaver and shift, a moment to linger and then to die. Of all that meed of a jester's thrift, which to Pierrot was the dearest gift. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song for the Eve of Yule by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Here's a fig for melancholy, now the year is at the Yule. Welcome fun and welcome folly, welcome anything that's jolly. What say you, sweet Mistress Molly? Shall not love and laughter rule? Come in close about the ingle, while the cavern chimney roars. Song and merriment shall mingle, till the very rafters tingle. Then shall sound the jangle jingle of the sleigh bells at the doors. Out upon all frowning faces, out upon the ghost of gloom, in with games and glees and graces, loose for once smug custom's traces. Put old Momus through his paces, give the merry maskers room. Aye, a fig for melancholy, garland love, let laughter rule. Hail to fun and hail to folly, hail the jovial and the jolly. Shall we not, sweet Mistress Molly, now the year is at the Yule? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Three Kings by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Carrie Adams, your book voice. Came those monarchs grave and hoar, with their gifts a goodly store, gold and frankincense and myrrh, on that holy night of yore. Ator, Sator, Saracen, in their hallowed purpose kin, following the guiding star, each a sacred goal to win. Did they bear their offerings, such a wealth of precious things, unto one a princely place, sprung like them from earthly kings? Nay, but to an infant born in a lowly spot forlorn, yet around whose glorious face shone a halo like the morn. For a spirit unto each spake in no uncertain speech, saying, in a manger lies one who God to man shall teach, one who shall the night o'erthrow, bearing heaven with him below, love that triumphs over hate, peace and joy that conquer woe. So those monarchs, men of fame, bowed before him, blessed his name, laid their offerings at his feet, passed as swiftly as they came. Stretch the years, a checkered chart, since they played their deathless part, yet today may we, like them, giving, hold the Christ at heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wise Men by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. The wise men wander across the world. Oh, the star in the sky! Bring their goodly gifts of gold. How the low wind whispereth by, whispereth of birth, not death, with joy in its lifted cry. The wise men come unto Bethlehem. Oh, the star in the sky! A star is the beacon that guideth them. How the soft wind hasteneth by, hasteneth, the while it saith, oh, the light of the world is nigh. The wise men kneel at the infant's feet. Oh, the star in the sky! And the loving mother smileth sweet, while the wind it hurrieth by, hurrieth, as it gladly saith, oh, the hope of the world is high. The wise men rise, and they go their ways. Oh, the star in the sky! And all this happened in the ancient days, but the wind still gladdeneth by, gladdeneth at the death of death, that life hath the victory. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Yule Song by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Nancy Beard. Who cries 'tis folly to wreath the bright holly? Who is it scoffs at the mistletoe bough? Marry then, out on him! Marry then, flout on him! If there's a time to be jolly, 'tis now. Berry-tide, cherry-tide, each is a merry tide, and there's charm in the nutting, I vow. But none surpasses, how say you, my lasses, the time for uphanging the mistletoe bough? Reason away with it, men have grown grey with it, pondering why and considering how. We have no part in it, nay, and no heart in it, under the droop of the mistletoe bough. So Lads, your choices all. Lift, maids, your voices all. Love levels Prince with the man at the plough. We'll make our boast of it, we'll make our toast of it. Ne'er may it wither, the mistletoe bough. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Christmas Hunter by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by April 6090. The Christmas Hunter, with blare of horn and hallo. Who is it forth doth fare? It is the Christmas Hunter who rides adown the air. Upon his wild steed, Slipner, he storms across the sky, and like the moan of ocean, his vanguard surges by. They are the Judas-hearted, they are the souls of them that spurned God's own anointed, the man of Bethlehem. For them nor peace nor joyance at this high tide of Yule, since they are doomed to follow the hunter's iron rule. Rage fills his veins with riot when peals the Christmas mirth, for memory bears him backward when he had power on earth. So mad he whirls his minions behind him fast and far, without or pause or pity, from star to utmost star. The once almighty Odin, whom Christ hurled from his height, he is the Christmas Hunter, who roams the voids of night. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Christmas Song by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Bowden. O'er the waste the crows are calling, caw, caw, in the hedges of the haw. Sparrows with their merry clatter cheep and chatter. Naught's the matter, Mary, Mary, naught's the matter. All the waking, then it's ho, hi ho, world's aglow. And the mirthful bells of Christmas ring across the snow. Down the garden Colin's calling, Molly, Molly. In the thickets of the holly courses the hidden starling. Saucy darling, you're behind her. Kiss her when you find her. Then it's ho, hi ho. Who's for worry, who's for woe, when the wooing bells of Christmas ring across the snow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Lover to His Rhyme by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Go, seek her out, my rhyme, her of the cruel heart, and with your softest chime, and with your blandest art, plead that this merry time may see her frowns depart. And whisper, ah, so low, and mark ye if she sigh, that sprays of mistletoe are plucked to hang on high, that holly berries glow, that Christmas tide is nigh. And if ye win one smile, oh, speed ye hither swift, from eyes cast down the while the aching gloom will lift, and in the orchard aisle will flower the frozen drift. More I that ray will prize than pearls of orient birth, 'twill set the wintry skies a dazzle over earth, and love in lilied guise will light the Christmas hearth. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Christmas Pilgrimage by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Bethlehem. What means this waiting throng? Whence have these weary, way-worn wanderers come? Why rises in strange tongues the expectant hum, like that tense undersong the joyful Jordan voices in the spring, till Hermon hearkens, leaning grandly down, and wearing still his shimmering snowy crown? Soon will these murmuring lips with ardor sing, and soon these lifted faces, wan or brown, glow into worship that is rapturing. Back will be thrown the consecrated door, and then these feet from many a distant shore be privileged to press the hallowed floor. Why have they come? The hardy mountaineer from Lebanon's cedars and their checkered shade, the merchant and the snowy mantled maid who hold great Nilus dear. Why have they come? The man with restless eyes and pallid cheeks that tell of northern skies. Why have they come, the Latin and the Greek? Do pilgrims thus this sanctuary seek? Because 'twas here, for year on fiery year, the red earth drank the deluged blood of Paynim and of Frank? Or do they search to see the antique symmetry of springing arch and carven pillar fine in this old holy house of Constantine? Ah no, ah no, to them the memory of war is not, and monarchs play no part in any thought that stirs an eager heart. They have no eyes to see a single graceful groining. What care they if here upon a bygone Christmas day the King Crusader Baldwin took his crown? Or what to them the saint of blessed renown in yonder sepulchre, now crumbling clay? Their patient feet one precious spot would press, their yearning eyes would lovingly caress the time dulled silver star, sunk deep within the pavement, footfall worn. Here of the Virgin Mary Christ was born, they read, these pilgrims who have plodded far. They read and pass and ponder. Few can see the tiny chapel and the dim-lit shrine, and feel no thrill, despite the mummery of something more divine within the breast than ever pulsed before. Then let us pilgrims be upon this sacred day we all adore. Although our mortal feet touch not the floor, although our mortal eyes may not behold, our spirits may take flight, and with immortal sight stand where the prayerful wise men stood of old, in ecstasy of adoration, when they saw the Saviour of the sons of men. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Yule Log by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Hail, the Yule log in! Heap the faggots high! With a merry din, rouse old revelry! Cry, Noel, Noel, till the rafters ring, and the gleeful bell peals its answering. Brim the Christmas cup from the wassail bowl. Now the flame leaps up with its ruddy soul. In the glowing blaze how the dancers spin, deftest in the maze, nimble harlequin. Grim Snapdragon comes with his mimic ire, and his feast of plums smothered in the fire. Oh, the days of mirth and the nights akin! Heap the Christmas hearth! Hail the Yule log in! End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ballad of the Christmas Tryst by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. It's hey, my merry huntsman, with hound and hawk and horn, where hie ye to the hunting this crispy Christmas morn? It's ho, mine ancient gossip, to Wildmere Wood I go, to seek beneath the boughs of Yule the roebuck and the roe. It's ha, my merry huntsman, a cunning tongue have ye, with deer you keep no Christmas tryst beneath the greenwood tree. It's hist, mine ancient gossip, I prithee speak me low, lest they that love me not should hear, to Wildmere Wood I go. It's list, my merry huntsman, they wote thy coming well, and wait thee where the pathway dips to cross the birken dell. It's good, mine ancient gossip, how many may there be betwixt me and my Christmas tryst beneath the greenwood tree? It's hark, my merry huntsman, there's Bernard of the Bow, Sir Egbert of the Crooked Arm, and Giles of Clarivaut. There's Giles, my merry huntsman, the wiliest of men, brother in blood, though black his heart, to one whose name ye ken. Gramercy, ancient gossip, and shall these stay my foot? Then may the house of Hardigrave be withered to the root. He gave his page his hound in leash, his hawk and eke his horn, and gaily did he onward ride beneath the Christmas morn. And now the Birken dell was won, and now the shallow ford, and now he heard the scabbard ring its answer to the sword. And forth from out the coppice deep rode Bernard of the Bow, Sir Egbert of the Crooked Arm, and Giles of Clarivaut. Small parley was there then, God wot, but bickering of steel, and down clashed Bernard of the Bow beneath his charger's heel. And Egbert of the Crooked Arm reeled sideways as he knew the sharp bite of a falchion's point his stricken harness through. Then clear rang out the huntsman's shout, right merrily cried he, God's with the son of Hardigrave, who loves la belle Marie. O deep cursed Giles of Clarivaut, to hear his sister's name, while neath his visor burned his eyes like orbs of evil flame. Have at thee, Hardigrave, he hissed, this riding thou shalt rue, and round them like a fiery mist the spiteful sparks outflew. 'Twas parry cuts and counter cuts, and fiercer face the while grew treacherous Giles of Clarivaut to mark the huntsman's smile. And seeing he was sore beset, that urgent grew his need, he aimed a caitiff's coward blow to maim his foeman's steed. But vain that cruel craven thrust, for whiles he strove to rein, the shoulder of his sword arm was riven half in twain. O starling in the thicket, see where, eyes with love aglow, adown the forest pathway goes the Rose of Clarivaut. And hearken, O ye holly boughs, and O ye larches, list! It is the song of one who rides to keep his Christmas tryst. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Knight's Christmas by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Bryce Christ. I hear the shrilling hautboy sound, the thrilling drums take up the din, and through the doorways gaping bound, a lusty mincing mannikin bears, garlanded, the boar's head in. The great bells clamor in the tower their jubilation. Down the hall mirth bursts into a brilliant flower of quip and toast and madrigal. Noel, 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 cry all. And yet joy seems a thing foredone, forevermore in every place, beneath the red rays of the sun. What is Christ's mass that wrought man grace, without the favor of love's face? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The White Lady by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Bryce Christ. The flax upon your distaff is yellow as your hair, but why on Christmas even thus spin you, maiden fair? The joy bells in the steeples are ringing clear and wide. Oh, stop the whirring spindle, and put the flax aside. Nay, but I may not, master, although I weary be, lest through the open shutter should peer the white lady, and find my treadle idle, my flax entangled fold, and on the merry morrow forget her gift of gold. For to the slothful virgin she causeth sorrowing, but to the thrifty maiden a blessing she doth bring. A soft touch at the shutter, a face divine to see, it is the fairy spinner, it is the white lady. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wizard People by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Deanna Lee. Adown the ways of winter, above the vasts of snow, with woven flame their sandals shod, through airy wastes by paths untrod, the Wizard People go. By day their feats are hidden, but night beholds their mirth, when in the abysses of the air their sorceries they flaunt and flare above a wondering earth. In vain the hilltops hearken, their lips no sound reveal, but ever on, from arc to arc, across the spangled depths of dark, their pennons whirl and wheel. Why come they? Who can answer? Whence go they? Who can tell? Flaming and fading down the night, a mystery, a dream delight, a splendor and a spell. Such are the Wizard People, the brethren of the Pole, and though man long has sought to gain their secret, suns shall wax and wane ere he shall read their soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Holly Song by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Trisha Wheeler. Holly Song. Care is but a broken bubble, trill the carol, troll the catch. Sooth will cry, a truce to trouble, mirth and mistletoe shall match. Happy folly, we'll be jolly, who'd be melancholy now? With a hey the holly, ho the holly, Polly hangs the holly bough. Laughter lurking in the eye, sir, pleasure foot it frisk and free. He who frowns or looks awry, sir, faith, a witless wight is he. Merry folly, what a volley greets the hanging of the bough! With a hey the holly, ho the holly, who'd be melancholy now? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Gennesar by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Bright 'neath the Syrian sun, dim 'neath the Syrian star, thus lieth Galilee's sea, Sapphirine Lake Gennesar. Girdled by mountains that range purple and proud to their crests, bearing the burden of dreams, glamour of eld on their breasts. Just one white glint of a sail dotting the brooding expanse. Beaches that sparkle and gleam, ripples that darkle and dance. Grandeur and beauty and peace welded year-long into one, under the Syrian star, under the Syrian sun. And over all and through all memories sweet of his name, kindling the past with their light, touching the future with flame. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Firelight by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Katie Antlitz. When ne'er at evening on the pictured wall I watch the flickering firelight rise and fall, from out the shifting shadow vistas come the forms of those who marched to martyrdom. Unflinching souls no agony could tame, a martyr wraith for every tongue of flame. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Mother of Pearl by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Mother of pearl out of Bethlehem, irradiant with all rainbow lights, shimmering, shifting opal whites, the June-time rose's palest fire, the sunset's most translucent gold, delicate as a precious gem, shaped for a lover's heart's desire, glowing as morn, yet virgin cold. Mother of pearl out of Bethlehem, thus I read you, bending above your sheen, more fair than the breast of a dove. The white is the mother without a stain, and the blended hues, the fire and the gold, they stand for him who for diadem had a crown of thorns and was basely slain, the Son of God clad in mortal mould. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Bells of Ardo by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. By wide-grayed orchards girdled, and cloistered deep in vines, remote stood ancient Ardo, amid the Apennines. Below her banded belfries, that loomed above the land, for weeks gaunt plague and famine had walked with linked hand, until when neared the noontide, on pale lips swooned the prayer, and only sounds of wailing swept down the bitter air. No heart had any ringer to sound the joyful bells, the soaring campanile pealed naught but burial knells. So when the Christmas sunlight scattered the chill white haze, the sorely scourged people were smitten with amaze. Hearing from San Stefano, a spire and shrine forlorn, a glorious jubilate salute the startled morn. Fast flocked the folk, and wonder swelled high that dawning hour, for unseen hands were swinging the bells within the tower, and twixt their rhythmic chiming, word upon precious word, a vibrant voice of promise in solemn wise was heard. This day, it cried, my people, the cruel curse shall cease, and there shall fall upon you my benison of peace. When failed the silvery bell notes, till arch and aisle were still, 'twas found that all in Ardo were healed of every ill. And now, as Christmas morning breaks over street and square, the bells of San Stefano ring out upon the air. And still the gathered people lift praise with glad accord unto the one Almighty that was their fathers' Lord. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In the Age of the Year by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Is it the wizard wind that has shrivelled the quince's rind? Sooth, we know it was he who shook the leaves from the tree, and danced them out of breath till they wizened away in death. Strange and subtle powers have rule of these ashen hours, minding the stricken sphere in this the age of the year. Through the crisped grass and the husk rustle the feet of the dusk, and the only song we know is the backlogs murmur low. Then come and sit with me by the side of memory and love with the blued skies in her spring reverting eyes, and there shall be vernal cheer in this the age of the year. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Lover's Christmas by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Jared G. Fade the last embers in the year's chill urn. Ah, love, how red the holly berries burn. A shroud of ermine hides the meadow ways. Ah, love, how green are still the ivy's sprays. Black are the boughs against the sky of gray. Ah, love, how golden is Yule log's ray. Behind the wood the sad wind plainteth long. Ah, love, the mirth within the mummer's song. And garth and orchard naught but gloom and dark. Ah, love, the joy about the Christmas hearth. Winter's white woe, its bitter sting and smart. Ah, love, the love eye vernal in the heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ballad of Kirkland Hills by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. The grand old hills of Kirkland stood up against the morn, as o'er a rutty road there strode a pilgrim lean and lorn. The wood-crowned hills of Kirkland, they notched the wan blue sky, as toward that plodding pilgrim came a horseman urging by. I prithee, weary pilgrim, now whither dost thou roam? I seek a gabled farmstead set amid these hills of home. I seek an ancient roof tree set amid these uplands white. God give thee luck, the horseman cried, before this Christmas night. The kindly hills of Kirkland they saw when broad noon shone, above the fair Oriska vale, this pilgrim toiling on. The hemlocks preen their night dark plumes, as up and up he clomb. The same old rook calls welcomed him back to the hills of home. High on the hills of Kirkland, where hail the north wind roared, oh, gay were they that grouped about the heaped Christmas board. And yet the brooding mother, with smiles she hid the tear, for one whose lips she had not kissed this many a lonely year. For one whose wanderlust had led his roving spirit far, until she dreamed he slept beneath the clear Alaskan star. Hark! At the door a summons, a step upon the sill. Oh, mother eyes abrim with joy, and mother heart athrill. And oh, ye hills of Kirkland, in wintry white and grey, a gladder sight ye never saw on any Christmas day. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Closed Room by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Deanna Lee. In the marvelous house of life, each year is a closed room. It is filled with peace and strife. It is packed with glow and gloom. There are hopes in the hues of dream. There are cares in their grim array. There are pleasures that glint and gleam, and sorrows in drugget gray. For some, with his infinite grace, love waits with the portal jars. For some, with his sphinx-like face, death stands when the door unbars. Some back from the threshold shrink, as loath from the past to part, but the most plunge over the brink with never a fear at heart. Then silent closes the door at the sound of the last old chime, and the key, forevermore, is turned by the keeper, Time. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Under the Holly Bough by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. When the hale year laughed in the prime of May, and each path was a lure to the truant eye, when the south wind sang, "Come away, come away," ah, but the blue of a vernal sky! When the vireo's voice was a lyric cry, 'twas the bloom of the apple beckoned us. Now, when we meet, my sweet, for the trysting, why, 'tis under the green of the holly bough. When the meadow swooned in the dazzling day, and the hilltops seemed in a dream to lie, when shrill was the locust's roundelay, ah, but the glow of a summer sky! When the stream song sank to a rippling sigh, 'twas the pleach of the elm leaves beckoned us. Now, when we meet, my sweet, for the trysting, why, 'tis under the green of the holly bough. When the woodland gleamed like a prismy ray, and the distance drowsed in a golden dye, when vineyard and orchard aisles were gay, ah, but the depth of an autumn sky, with stains like a web of Tyrian ply, 'twas the flame of the maple beckoned us. Now, when we meet, my sweet, for the trysting, why, 'tis under the green of the holly bough. Envoy. Spring, summer, and autumn have all sped by. Ah, but the chill of a winter sky! Yet love still calls to the tryst, and now 'tis under the green of the holly bough. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Cosette's Christmas by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Laurie Arsenault. Cosette's Christmas. Cosette they called her, Cosette, that was all. Fragile she was and flower-like, slim and tall. For her 11 years, wherein her heart had known but little save the world's sharp smart. Never her ear had heard a mother's croon. Never for her, about the break of June, had been outstretched a father's shielding hand to guide her woodward through the smiling land. The streets oppressed her with their cruel roar. The birds she saw above her dart and soar. Theirs was the life she longed for, not to be, mewed within walls that were a gloom to see, and stung with taunts from a virago tongue that aged her spirit, yearning to be young. Foundling, a fate that brooked of no appeal, was hers by some inexorable seal. Backward and forward oft she went and came from the grim spot that was but home in name. On casual errandry it chanced one day, as she passed swiftly on her timid way, 'twas near the season of the Christ child's birth, the happy tide of peace and love on earth. A heedless hand struck from her feeble grasp the glass she strove so carefully to clasp, and she beheld it with a plaintive cry, shattered before her on the pavement lie. The throng swept by and caught her in its swirl. There was no lip to soothe the sobbing girl, no kindliness to aid her. A great fear clutched at her breast, she knew the stabbing jeer, the pitiless blows that waited her when she told the ill outcome of her errandry. Then through her brain there flashed a sudden word that in the hive-like purlieus she had heard, and filled her mind with sunshine. No affright touched her with chill at thought of death's dim night. For she recalled how once the preacher said that in white lily gardens walk the dead. So in she stole at the accustomed door, sought out a room upon the lower floor, wherein the porter sullen visaged slept, toward a remembered drawer on tiptoe crept, plucked undetected thence a shining thing, and gained again the street in triumphing. A ringing shot, a little piteous moan, and a child's blood encrimsoning the stone. When Cosette opened her heavy-lidded eyes, wonder assailed her and a great surmise. Was this the lily land of her delight? It shone so bare, and yet so very white. Long stainless walls and little cots in rows, and one whose smile invited to repose. She drowsed her mind, still dwelling on that face, and dreamed she'd found the angel's sleeping place. And when next day they told her where she lay, a tiny teardrop found its mournful way adown the death-like pallor of her cheek. She closed her eyes and sighed, but did not speak. Dawn followed dawn, and still the little one went not to that dim bourne beyond the sun, but ever seemed about to pass there too. Nearer and nearer now the Yuletide drew. And to the hospital one morn there strayed a kindly man who made the news his trade, and learned the piteous story of the maid. "Cosette," he said, with a strange catch of tone, his sight grown dim, remembering his own, "have you no wish?" And she, with him at ease, cried, "2 red roses and an orange, please." Just 2 red roses and an orange. So he wrote next day, that all the town might know. Then Christmas morning broke above the snow. The morn of Christmas broke, bell spoke to bell, the loving message of goodwill to tell. The postmen bustled on their burdened round, and happy greetings rang with cordial sound. Then at the hospital a summons came, another and another, and the name. The answering nurse with every message met was still Cosette, and evermore Cosette. For all had read the story of the child. Roses upon her bed were strewn and piled, and breathed their June about her everywhere, gleamed on the table, glistened on the chair. From the soft loveliness of the pale tea rose to the deep splendor of the jacqueminots. And oranges, forsooth, it was as though the palm-set lands where the long trade winds blow, fair Florida and the Lucayan shores, had here unbosomed their most precious stores. Both rich and poor had sought to ease the smart of her whose tale had touched the city's heart. And she, Cosette, through kindness's golden dower, smiled upon life and mended from that hour. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Pilgrims by Clinton Scollard. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Their path who shall unravel? Their purpose who unroll? From out the past they travel, the future is their goal. Theirs are the forward faces, the spring's Arcadian airs. The old eternal graces of youngling time are theirs. Or gold the sky or ashen, there broods within their breasts the sleepless pilgrim passion, the sweet divine unrest. They neither flag nor falter, they tarry not nor tire. Their aim they will not alter, although a king desire. They fear nor frost nor fever, nor fire nor famine they. They follow Fate, the weaver, forever and a day. Now tell their eyes the story of more than mortal tears, now gleam with starry glory the passing pilgrim years. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Lyrics and Legends of Christmas by Clinton Scollard.